So, I saw Kung Fu Panda 2 in theaters for the re-release my theater has been doing for this hype to build up Kung Fu Panda 4, and man, this was incredible seeing it on the big screen. So recently, I've seen a big surge of Kung Fu Panda 2 videos floating around on YouTube recently, and honestly, you guys know why this movie's great. You guys know why people love it. You guys know why it's highly regarded to be even better than the first one. So I'm just gonna give you my general thoughts and how I feel about the story's message, and to answer the question, if I think Kung Fu Panda 2 is better than Kung Fu Panda 1. So, let's get into it. Starting off this video, I just want to talk about Lord Shen. Wow, is he one hell of a villain. This is probably one of DreamWorks' best villains in their entire catalog, and that's saying a lot. Just everything about him is so damn menacing. His character design, his voice, his backstory, it's so great. Another thing I love about Shen is anytime during his kung fu scenes, whenever he shows his feathers to distract his opponents, that's something peacocks do in the real world, but instead of like fighting, is to attract their mate. And what's great is that Shen's like this broken person who's never experienced love, so he's taking this form of showing the feathers to attract someone, and he's using it to distract someone or blind someone. It's just really cool. And look at those freaking knives that come out of his hands. Like, what? Like, that's just awesome. I don't know, man. It's just cool. Shen and Po's dynamic is easily the strongest point of this film. What I love about Kung Fu Panda 2 in comparison to all the other ones is this one really focuses about Po's internal struggle. Something that's great about this movie, and another thing I really love about the first one, is that the first one leaves a ton of room for a sequel, like explaining where the hell did Po even come from. And we get it answered here beautifully in this scene with Po trying to learn inner peace. And another thing that's kind of weird is that Kung Fu Panda 4 is like making a joke that Po doesn't know what inner peace is, but in this movie his whole arc is finding inner peace. I'm still excited for Kung Fu Panda 4, but don't screw it up, please. This is like my favorite animated franchise. Don't do it. Don't. But yeah, back to Po's arc. I think it's super sweet, the father and son dynamic in this movie, and it's laid out great from beginning to end. I love the scene before Po goes off to this journey and he's saying goodbye to his dad, and Po's trying to tell him, I need to find who I am. And then his dad says, well, aren't you my son? And Po just kind of looks at him confused. Is he his son? And it's just a great internal conflict throughout the whole movie. Like I said, it's just great writing. And then Po later finds out that holy flarking shit, Shen killed his whole family. Almost, kind of, sort, almost. But man, seeing Po discover this throughout the movie is just so great. Seeing the eye symbol from Shen's feather onto the armor of the wolves is just great. I especially like when Shen's preparing to meet Po, because the prophecy states that a warrior of black and white will strike him down. And then he sees Po and it's just like this chubby, silly, goofy panda, and he's just kind of like, hey. And oh my god, can we just go back on how damn dark this movie is? Like, there's this other scene when Po and Shen are fighting, and Po wants to know the truth about how his parents died and what happened to him, and Shen says this?
Well, here's your answer. Your parents didn't love you. But here, let me heal you.
Like, bro, that hits, man. That actually hits. And Po literally got hit. That wasn't funny. Why did I put this in the script? That just wasn't funny. And then we hear from the soothsayer that's helping Po try to fight back against Shen, saying, let everything go. Feel the flow. Let the past play out. And Po finally masters inner peace. And we get this great scene blending 3D animation with 2D and seeing what happened to his mother. And man, it's just heartbreaking. But seeing Po overcome the trauma is amazing to see. And that's the crux of this whole movie. Just because you have a tragic past doesn't mean you can't have a good future. And the scene where Po's realizing all the good things in his life, it's so good! And then we have the final fight. Oh, yes. This is probably my favorite scene in the entire Kung Fu Panda franchise. Just look at how beautiful this shot looks. Po standing off facing Shen's army with the boats and the cannons on the water, the reflecting of the red and the... Oh my Just look at that, man. Look at that. And then the parallel with the water droplet and the cannon launching towards him, trying to find inner peace, and he blocks that, throws it away. Oh my god, it's incredible. Easily top 10 most hype scenes in a movie, just period. It's so cool. Man, and then when Poe says the classic, skadoosh, throws it at Shen, and he wins the fight. It's incredible. But believe it or not, my favorite scene in this movie is actually towards the end, when the battle is over and Poe heads home to the Valley of Peace to see his dad. Throughout the whole movie, Poe is asking the question, who is he and where did he come from? And he finally tells his dad what it is.
While I was gone, I found the village where I was born. I found out how I ended up in that radish basket.
You did?
I know who I am.
You do?
I'm your son. I love you, Dad. I love you too, son.
Like, come on, man. If you don't get the feels from that, you ain't human. That's real love right there, bro. It's amazing, man. So yeah, those are my general thoughts on Kung Fu Panda 2. This isn't like a really in-depth video like the first one, because again, I've seen so many videos talking about Kung Fu Panda 2 recently. I just wanted mine to be a little bit different. But the final grade, what do I truly think of Kung Fu Panda 2? Well, I think the overall story is a little bit more grounded, focusing on Poe, and I like that a lot. However, I do enjoy the dynamic a lot more with Shifu, Poe, and Tai Lung. That whole dynamic in the first one is something truly special, along with Master Oogway. The jokes are just a lot more funnier, and I think it overall just flows a lot better. But 2 is definitely a worthy sequel, and everyone who loves the first needs to watch it. What are you doing if you haven't seen it already? I'm giving Kung Fu Panda 2 an A. And yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on Kung Fu Panda 2. Spectacular movie. I love it so much. For my next video, we got Kung Fu Panda 3, and I'm seeing Kung Fu Panda 4 Thursday night. I am so excited. I'm so ready. This is one of my favorite animated franchises of all time. I love these movies so, so much. Like I said before, they hold a special place in my heart. I really want Part 4 to be good. Also, the one thing I ask, I know Hans Zimmer is doing the score again like he did for the original trilogy. Can we please get a rematch, whatever, of his piece from Kung Fu Panda 1, Hero? I need to hear that again. That is so good. One of my favorite scores of all time is Kung Fu Panda. Play that song, please, anywhere in the movie. That'd be awesome. But as always, I'll see you all in the next one. Skadoosh.